to get started, folks.
Washington's 106.7 WJFK. Here starts Ron and Fez.
Okay, good. You're in for that, right?
Ron and Fez.
Where's One Cool Dad? Call him in.
One Cool Dad, we need you.
Billy Staples is literally wearing, and I don't know where he got the shirt, but you always know it's the nerdiest guy in the world wearing the One Cool Dad. Normally, it's a guy wearing that shirt is just pulled up in his Winnebago.
Who's the...
They say I'm One Cool Dad.
Mandelbaum.
Oh, so you think you're One Cool Dad, and I'm not.
It's go time. Where did you get the shirt, the T-shirt, the very tight T-shirt that says One Cool Dad on it?
First off, it's not that tight. Okay.
I'm afraid to be in the same room. Look at Harry trying to get past you, behind you.
Where's the T-shirt from yesterday, Born to Drink? You're not wearing that anymore?
No. This was a gift for Father's Day.
What happened to your I Like Ike T-shirt that you loved? What happened? Were they all out of the free mamimas? You had to wear One Cool Dad? What are you wearing there?
I like that other one you had, FBI, Female Body Inspector.
Oh, I saw with the official bra inspector one, which, and don't you have a Mafia staff card keeping you hands off? Aren't you wearing that anymore?
Where's the one with the fake stains on it that says damn seagulls?
You don't have the Austin 316 shirt? You're not wearing that?
No.
You're not wearing same S, different day?
S happens.
You done with the No Fat Chicks T-shirt? You're not wearing that anymore?
If you're embarrassed about the One Cool Dad T-shirt, just put on that apron that says housework is a bitch. I've seen you wear that around the studio.
Oh, God.
But who gave you the One Cool Dad shirt?
I got it on Father's Day.
From Walmart?
No. When I woke up, there was a gift. It was from the dog and the 3 cats.
Is your mom trying to depress you even more?
Yeah, and it was like...
Your mom's wearing the I'm with stupid shirt, right?
And I was like, oh, look, you've got a card from the dog and the 3 cats with 4 little paw prints on it and everything, and it just opened it up. And I swear to God, I didn't realize it said One Cool Dad.
You never read the shirt?
No, it was just like, oh, my God. Oh, this is... I was so embarrassed.
Now, did your daughter get you anything?
I didn't see her.
Bill.
She didn't call you?
No. She called, so...
Oh, she didn't call?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
We had plans to see each other, but...
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon.
When you coming home, One Cool Dad, we'll get together then, One Cool Dad.
Well, you saw your kids, right, Ronnie?
Oh, yeah, I was with them all day.
That was nice.
You live with them, don't you?
Yeah, breakfast in bed, presents. But I didn't get a One Cool Dad shirt.
No.
So I'm a little jealous right now.
Well, I have to learn to read things next time before I put them on. So, no, this was really the only gift I got, so I figured I'd wear it. I got it from the animals.
Well, was your daughter busy? I don't mean to pry too much, but...
Well, we were supposed to go out, but her mother hurt herself or something. So.
You think on purpose? Faked an injury to keep her
his
from
daughter
seeing you?
did call, and she said the new job's a hassle, and the kids got the flu. But it's been nice talking with you, Dad. Been sure nice talking with you.
She said we'll do it some other time.
Some other Father's Day.
Yeah. Well, I did hear from her. There have been Father's Days where I never did, so...
And when you hung up the phone, you realized your daughter was just like you, yeah.
Without the stapling.
Nah.
So was that a bad day for you?
It was not a happy day.
Right.
You know, it's Father's Day. I don't have a father. I didn't get to see my daughter. So...
You were just sitting there feeling like a winner?
Yeah. With my One Cool Dad shirt. from Chicky Cuddles.
And your mom doesn't let you drink at home, right?
No.
That was nice of her to think of you, though.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. Well, and her big line was, they saved all their little friskies for you. I'm like, oh, great.
And you're just feeling trapped.
Yeah.
Just trapped.
I just think it's so odd that she goes, oh, look, you got Daddy a present. I'm like, wait, if I'm
Does that mean you're married to your mother now?
I know, that's what really screws me up. I would talk about this in therapy.
Your mom is like your stepwife.
I know. Is
she acting like that? Like your wife?
It's very close. It's getting oh, where you been? Where you going? What are you doing? Who you hanging out with? What time you coming home? Where were you all night? I'm like, oh God, I'm married again.
Your mom.
To my mother.
No, it's talking about married to the mob, married to my mom.
Why did we call you in? Just to bust your balls?
Yeah, well, if you were one cool dad, I'd be busting your balls. So
yeah, that'll be in a different lifetime.
I know.
I'll be the geek.
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was a surfing shirt. Or like I thought it was like, oh, that was great.
Who are you, Super Dad, Bob Crane?
No, I mean, I didn't even read the damn thing. I opened it up. I said, oh, it's nice, yada, yada, yada. And I saw it today, and I was like, oh, it's blue. Didn't want to wear orange all the time. So.
Sure, matches your eyes.
Hey, Sylvan, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, I just wanted to say that, when I was a kid, like 5 or 6 years old, my mom and dad got divorced. And I would listen to the Cats in the Cradle almost like every day. And my mom would do the same thing. She would just make up stuff to make sure my dad would never see me. And I really feel for the guy there. It must have really...
oh, yeah, it's depressing. That's a depressing song. I don't care who you are. But you feel like you've effed up as a dad.
So is Taxi, and my ex-wife and her new husband's name are in that song.
Who is she?
Sue.
And he's Harry?
Yeah.
And you're not in the song?
No.
Wow, that is weird.
Oh, yeah.
You're all about Harry Chapin.
Oh, I'm glad the guy's dead. I wish he should have hit a tractor trailer sooner, if you ask me.
If he had died, you'd kill him.
I wish he died before he wrote those friggin' songs. So he should have just fed the damn homeless and shut up and never played the guitar.
All right, well, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about Billy's Father's Day with him. Fezzi, I don't know what it is about being a father. I find it the most difficult thing, and Billy's had a rough time of it, haven't you, buddy?
Yeah, it was a very tough day.
All right, we'll talk about it when we get back.
What happened on your Father's Day? What went so horribly wrong? When did you find out that your daughter wasn't going to get together with you?
Basically, she actually called while I was sleeping, and
on Sunday?
Yeah, on Sunday. She had called me on Saturday and asked if I wanted to go out, to have lunch. No, just that we had to go have some sushi or something. And I said, and I was like really, really.
You were thrilled.
Thrilled, yeah, because
you love sushi. I know you.
No,
how old is your daughter now?
20.
And what age was she when she moved out?
She didn't move out. I did.
What age
5.
was she? Was 5.
Yeah.
When you were separated.
Yeah.
Wow. So you
between
really
4 and 5.
75% of her life you've been gone.
And a lot of it was.
You're so good at math.
And a lot of it was tough years.
Yeah.
I mean, because between her mother and I fighting and her mother remarrying and, court battles and other battles, there was a lot of tension in our relationship.
Wasn't there like an ugly courtroom scene or something where you tried to avoid an ugly courtroom scene?
You yelled, I'm out of order, you're out of order, this whole place is out of order.
No, at one point our lawyers almost got into it and they had to be separated by court officers and stuff. So it really, really got nasty. And
didn't your daughter break down talking to the judge or something?
Yeah, she wouldn't talk, and then she didn't talk to me for almost a year.
Saying I don't want to be with him? Something like that?
It wasn't that she didn't want to be with me. It's just that at a certain age, the judge...
Did she yell that out?
No.
She said she wanted to stay with her mother.
Yes.
I'm saying it backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't a question of, we never got to the point of where, of course, the Child Protective Services, when they did the investigation or whatever, when the child's a certain age, they ask the child who they want to stay with, if you're over 15 or 16. So
did something happen that Protective Services was called in, or is that routine?
No, it was just an issue between me and her mom.
Oh, okay.
Just nothing that he's comfortable talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and at that point...
It's tough for a dad when you don't have the kid.
Yeah, I mean...
And now here she is, she's an adult, and you're proud of her, and she's pulling the cats in the cradle on you.
You know, I couldn't be prouder of her. We used to spend weekends together, and I made mistakes as a dad. Who doesn't? You know, but it's hard being a part-time dad. You know, every other weekend, 1 day a week.
Are you still seeing her that much?
No. No. She hardly has time for anything. She just started her master's program in school. So she belongs to the fire department. She got a part-time job. So she's doing
all right.
She's working hard, you know, and the fact that she called me and thought of me for Father's Day, because there have been Father's Day where I never heard from her.
Did you wait by the phone like all day?
Yeah, I would never leave the house.
Why do you try calling her and saying it's Father's Day?
Because I wasn't.
Think she was out having a picnic with your with the guy that she was calling New Daddy?
Yeah, probably because of the situation. If she would have called me, it would have offended him.
Ah, boy.
You know,
it
was the whole. She wasn't.
All right, here's a situation, Fez. And since you don't have kids, I'll throw it out there at you.
Thank you.
What do you think would be tougher? Not being with your own kid, or being that new daddy that the new kids aren't totally crazy about because they want their own family to be together. Which one do you think is harder to do?
I think the harder one would be the father who's not with his own kid. I think that would be heartbreaking.
It is.
That's the only one you have, right?
Yeah.
You never raised anybody else's kid.
No.
You know what's really weird? I actually have friends, guys that I grew up with, that have basically switched families. Like, they raised each other's kids because they fell in love with the other woman. And we all kind of grew up together. I'm like, you guys have got to get out of the neighborhood. You've got to see what the hell's going on in the rest of the world.
Family swapping.
And it happens all the time when guys grow up in certain neighborhoods. You know, you used to be girlfriend and boyfriend and whatever, and then, you know, sometimes you get back and you're raising your buddy's kids. Or your buddy effed up for a while.
You know what? The only problem is, I mean, yeah, there's been years I didn't see or hear from my daughter, and I would go on my computer all the time. I even did it Sunday to look and see if I got an online card or something, you know. And basically, the problem is the only people who care about Father's Day are the fathers. You know, we're the only ones who, you know, look, finally, a day for, you know, that we're supposed to be recognized. And it's like, oh, yeah, you know, ideally, you know, you got this picture in your head, breakfast in bed, and, you know, it's a terrible breakfast your young kids make for you. But, you know, that's just like the White House with the picket fence kind of thing, you know, and it's like a mess. But in reality, you get cologne, you get a tie, or you don't get a call. Or
a one cool dad shirt.
Yeah, and then
cats.
But yet, God forbid you forget a Mother's Day. You know, on any given Mother's Day, you can ride down the street and there's people selling plants and flowers and every department store Mother's Day specials.
Right, what would you like for Father's Day?
What would I like?
Would you like flowers?
No, but I'm just saying, why doesn't Christ's Grandparents' Day gets bigger publicity than Father's Day? It's like fathers are the forgotten breed. You know, fathers are just like, okay, we're expected to be there. It's like, you know, we're taken for granted.
Right, Bill,
we're the paycheck. We're the paycheck. We're the child support.
Right. You weren't there. That's the thing. Maybe she's not that close with you.
I'm not talking only for me. Yeah. I am not speaking just for me in this case. No. I know I am not alone in this feeling. That I am sure that there are a lot of single parents out there who aren't custodial.
Yeah.
Who don't get to see their kids on Father's Day, or, you know, only see them for a small time.
You know, maybe we should do something like a weekend Father's Day for the weekend dads.
Oh, okay.
But Fezzi,
the card companies will be in on that. They're up for any holiday.
Would you say we pay more attention to Mother's Day? What do you think is more important for a kid, a mother or a father?
Well, actually, you know, a mother, if it's a stay-at-home mom, yeah. I mean, but now with both parents working, it could be either. I mean, the society is not what it was in the 50s with Make Room for Daddy.
All right,
you know?
Fezzi's got some new numbers for you.
Yeah, that's right. This is from the U.S. Census Bureau. And they were talking about the amount of stay-at-home moms, how it's increased over the past decade. 13%. It's up 13% in the past 10 years. Stay-at-home dads, that's on an increase of 18% from the U.S. Census Bureau. Over the past 10 years, there's more stay-at-home parents.
All right, Fezzi, what is more important, you think, to a child, mother or father?
A mother.
I hate to say it myself, mother. There's like maternal instincts. I don't know if there is paternal instincts.
See, but
I mean, to me, you're the man. You're trying to do the right thing, but you never know. Most of the time, I think men make a lot more mistakes.
Yeah, but you know what? I remember as a kid, I couldn't wait for my father to come home.
Oh, I was the same way, man.
When my kid, when my dad ran through the door, we'd run, we'd jump in his arms. It's just like, it was almost like you couldn't wait to get away from your mother. Yeah. And psychologically, they said,
but you're still waiting. No, it's because you spent so much time with your mother. But I remember this thing. I have this vision of my dad of waiting, and I would have the baseball gloves. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And my dad would get out of the car, and I would like run to him with the gloves when I was a little kid. And to me, if no matter what happens, that will always be that thing. But I don't feel like you were as close to a dad as you are to a mom. The dad is a little more mysterious. He's a little more distant.
I would have loved to have had more time with my dad when I was a kid.
See, I was a little bit intimidated by my dad growing up.
The dad is the one, the know-it-all, the last say. You know, it's like if your mother says no, you go to dad. You know, like, look, mom said, you know, I couldn't do this, you know, and if dad said yes, then you did it.
Right, not to bust your balls, but you didn't have that relationship with your daughter.
No.
Some other guy did.
Yeah.
All right, 866-277-4969. What is your feeling here? It's not just Father's Day that are put off, but it's fathers themselves.
Fathers are taken for granted. I mean, especially if you are a separated parent, you know, basically we are a paycheck.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to. And it's like you don't hear... the only time I would hear from my kid for the longest time, and this is pathetically the truth, was her birthday, Christmas, when there was a present or a gift involved.
Then she would call you?
Yeah.
The daughter would?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
And would actually ask for a present?
No, she would just say, oh, you know...
Time to check in, right?
Yeah. And I mean, for the longest time, that whenever there was only like a graduation or when she was moving on or first day, not even first, I didn't even see her on the first day of school. I wasn't allowed to go.
All right, here's Gene. Gene, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, Gene.
How you doing tonight, fellas?
Hey, buddy.
Much as I hate to say it, I'm gonna have to agree with Billy on this one.
All right, are you also a single dad, or I don't know what it's called when the dad doesn't live there? What's that called, Billy?
Just a non-custodial parent.
Non-custodial parent. You're the same way? You got the same relationship with your kids that Billy does?
Yeah, only more so. I don't know what went on in Billy's case, but in my case, you know, my wife decided to pick up and move, marry some guy 3,000 miles away.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
See, now they shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Well, see, that's just it. They're allowed to do it. The court said they could do anything they want, and then, of course, you know, if you miss a child support payment, they're real quick to lock you up. But if she decides that she's going to go against the same court order and not allow you to see your children, they don't do anything.
See, here's the thing, Billy.
So that's what you are, as a cash cow.
Yeah, not to stick up for the women, but we can't force people to live certain places. You guys are split up. She's the one who got custody of the kids. And I guess you have to leave it up to her to be free and go wherever she wants.
Yeah, we had joint custody.
Oh, joint custody. That's tough.
We had joint custody. And see, here's where you're wrong, Ron, is because you're saying women have all the rights the same way the court does. So when when we had those children, that made us a part of a combination no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Which means you have to look at the whole entity. And you can't just say you can move away for 3,000 miles and take this man's rights away to see his children.
I will tell you this, Gene. I have nothing to compare it to. I can understand it somewhere along the line that people are free to do what they want. I don't know how you would deal with that on an emotional level, your kids moving away.
Gene, how do you deal with it on a legal level? Do you have to go back into court and work out a new deal where maybe you get your kid for like 6 weeks out of the year instead of like every weekend?
So now you're summer camp.
That's what we did. We went back into court. Now, according to my lawyer, when I was in New York State at the time, he said I could join the 35-35 club, which meant it was going to cost me approximately $35,000 to fight her being able to leave the state of New York with those children, and I only had a 35% chance of the court saying, well, you want to get married, you go ahead and get married, but the children are staying in the state of New York.
I can't believe this is so common that there's an actual nickname for it.
I was told the same thing by my lawyer.
35-35?
She goes, I will fight to the death for you to get custody of your daughter, but you'll make me rich and you're going to lose.
That's it. You got about a 35...
Wow, your doctor said the same thing.
So basically for the male to get the kids, the female has to be out of control nuts, right?
Basically, the biological mother has to be something completely loony.
I know,
biologically imbalanced.
No, I know that you guys aren't going to agree with me on this, but as long as it's like a normal woman, I think a kid needs that mom thing more than she needs a dad. Like the nurturing aspect seems like genetically, and maybe this is just totally prejudiced on my point, but it seems like you need to cuddle your mom and not cuddle your dad.
See, you know what? You can't pick one over the other because you need both.
You have to.
But you guys broke up. You and your wife broke up. So, I mean, you guys said we're not a family, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you would have all the rights in the world if you guys stayed together.
See, I actually had put in my separation agreement, my ex-wife was not allowed to move without my consent. But what I didn't think is that she was going to move in with this guy that she was seeing. And that I couldn't prevent. That I tried to prevent with them living together.
Mm-hmm.
But that I could not prevent. I could only prevent them from moving out of state and changing their name and calling him Dad, which they did anyway.
I think that's what happened in my sister's situation. The guy she was seeing and he had just gotten divorced. I think it was part of the agreement that he could not live with anyone unless he was married to them. So I think that was one reason why they went ahead and eloped.
Even if they didn't have the kids at the house.
Right. He was getting the kids 2 days a week.
As long as he wasn't living with somebody.
Exactly. That's when he could have the kids sleep over.
All right. Do you think that's fair or not fair? You know, because if the family kind of believes, hey, we don't want the kids to see their dad living in sin.
Yeah, so...
Because you don't know who this Bim is either, that he's moved into his house.
Well, yeah,
that's my sister.
But wait, this is exactly what happened.
We don't know this.
Right, and these are little kids. So, yeah, I think that's totally fair.
Yeah. And I've seen your sister walking around in just bras and a panty myself.
You are not supposed to wander around the house. You just stay in the living room.
Whatever. The thing is, I saw it. However it happened, it happened. I mean, if she really, get blinds. I say, if you don't want anybody to see it, get blinds.
Well, don't look in a window.
It's right there in the backyard. I mean, all I had to do was climb a tree. I'm seeing everything. All right, what's your point, Billy?
My point is, and this is exactly what happened to me. My ex just started living with this guy, and my daughter was with them at the same time, and I could do nothing about it at all legally.
All right, we're going to pick this up when we come back. It's always sad, Billy, and Father's Day bad for you.
Yeah.
There's not too many good holidays.
I actually took myself out for sushi at 10 o'clock.
I think you ought to take yourself out. That might be the smartest way to end all this.
I wish they had drinking day so you could have a fun holiday for a change.
Didn't you say you had a pretty decent Arbor Day?
The tree died.
Here's the big question. Are dads getting a rough deal? 866-277-4969, 866-277-4969, Ron and Fez Show.
Billy Staples is in the studio with us tonight, and not real happy, thinking fathers are getting a bum deal. He had a bad Father's Day.
Hey, this is just one of many, by the way. This is not the first. This was probably one of the better ones in years. At least my daughter called me this year.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times I'm sure my ex wouldn't even let her call, just to, God forbid, offend him. And
maybe when you go to prison, her boyfriend Lloyd will come in and see you. I'm incarcerated, Lloyd.
Look, you know what? Women, they brainwash these friggin' kids against the father. They really do, I swear to God. Because they will, it's like they use the kid as barter. Oh, your father didn't pay, so you can't see him. Or your father missed a payment, or your father's late with his child support. A kid should not be involved in that to begin with, and to hear about her father. And the mother has the kid's ear 24/7.
Well, not only that, but your daughter's probably heard about you on the radio as well.
No, she doesn't. This is not her style, I don't think. So I'd like to hope so anyway.
Would the mother be able to do all those things if the father was making the payment, if the father wasn't late, if the father wasn't...
Well, it's a double-edged sword, because there was a time she wouldn't let me see her, and so I said, well, if you're not going to let me see my daughter, I'll be goddamned if I'm going to pay you a cent. So
now,
that plan can't possibly work.
Now you're kind of using the kid as barter there, too.
Yeah, it works. Oh, trust me, it works both ways.
You did the same thing.
Yeah, it does work both ways. But it's 9 times out of 10, it's initiated by the mother because of money and what the father is doing.
But see, here's the thing. You think because this is a relationship that you're in, that is the way it happens. Maybe it's different out there. Here's Teresa. Teresa, you're on the Ron and Fez show with a very unhappy but real cool dad, Billy Staples.
T-shirt. Yeah, I can tell he's unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, my parents were divorced when I was much older. I was 19, and so I'm looking at it from the other side of the coin, and I didn't really have the fighting over each other thing. But, you know, in terms of being closer to your mom or giving your mom more attention, I think that more or less happens because, you know, you can't forget that moms, you know, are women. And, you know, even as children, we know that, you know, they're a little more needy. You tend to have to walk on eggshells around them, whereas your father, you know, you tend to kind of just, because they're not the squeaky wheel, you know, you sort of forget
Maybe
about.
you weren't needy enough and you were forgotten about.
I was forgotten about, but it wasn't because of my trying.
Did you go Christmases without seeing your daughter?
No, the deal was I always had my daughter Christmas Eve. I never got to see her on Christmas Day. And then all of a sudden, one year, she goes, "Oh no, I'm going somewhere else Christmas Eve." Okay, so then I'll see you Christmas Day. She goes, "No, I'm going somewhere else. I'll probably get to you by the afternoon."
Your daughter saying that?
Yeah. I'm like, well, thank you
then?
for fitting me into your schedule on Christmas, being your father.
All right, how old was she then?
Like 15.
But don't.
Yeah, but see, kids are going to start doing that about that age.
Yeah, but they were all
don't go on vacation with you anymore.
I was going to ask that. Aren't kids going to do that whether their parents are divorced or not?
No, because first off, you had to go to the mother's family, then had to go to the new husband's
stepfather's
family, and then like my family came last.
I understand that you got mad at her.
Race.
I know that you got mad at her, Billy. But did you ever say, "Hey, you're my daughter. I love you. I need you here"?
All the time. I was never an angry dad. I was always...
I know, you were one cool dad.
No, I was never the angry father with my daughter. Mm-hmm. I would always say, like, Christy, why don't, you call your grandma once in a while. She never hears from you. You know, when you walk in,
All right, but I want to just say the same thing. All right, me and my chick are together, right? Yeah. I don't have a dump button here. Me and my kids are together. You think they go and call their grandparents? My kids? Never. They never think of it. It's one of the things kids do.
But she called her mother's grandparent all the time. The fact that
that's probably her mother asking her to do it.
Yeah, and I tried the same. I said, once in a while, give her a call. It's like it's not going to end the world. And say thank you when she gives you something. She would send you a card. Call her. Thank you for the card.
She got a one cool grandkid shirt.
But I'm trying to tell you, even if the parents are divorced, the kids don't remember that. I never remembered my grandparents. That's something about being a kid.
Oh, it's BS because I guarantee you the mother's side got the call.
Yeah, because she was there to hand the phone. That's what I do. I'll call my house and hand the phone to the kids and call my parents. And then I'll act like I came in. What happened? Oh, they went and called you? And my parents are all happy, but it's a lie. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good,
Enjoy
Paul.
listening to you.
Thanks, buddy.
Listen, I just have to agree with, I can't remember which one of you was saying earlier, like, that families were more alternative when you were a kid than is popularly recalled. And I just have to say, like, that was 100% true. When I was a kid growing up in the 70s in New York, everybody I knew was from a divorced family.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids wound up with their own apartments. Wasn't even the mothers or fathers. At the age of, 14, I know, 2 kids who practically had their own apartment. One literally at the age 17.
The Culkin family.
No, well, you'd be surprised, actually.
Yeah, but
you'd be shocked.
Just crazy stuff. It was just incredibly common. I remember one of my friends, his father got a divorce, moved downstairs to 8 floors below in the same building and had a bachelor pad. So you had his bar with all of his stock and his art on the walls, and like people would come over there and hang out with his son. His son used it as his like crash pad.
Yeah, that's kind of like a not the common way things happen. I mean, the thing that pisses me off is who are these people who sit behind these administrative judges and these family law clerks who say, okay, you will see your daughter this much, you will pay this much, and you will they will decide how much I get to see my child.
All right, here's the thing, Billy. Somebody has to decide that. Because you and your wife couldn't keep the marriage together.
Fine.
So the society, i.e. the puppy, has to say, now we have to step in.
Yes.
Now, the courts don't tell me and my chick, because luckily we didn't break up. And I'm not saying because I'm a better husband than you. I just got lucky. But somehow we got to take care of these kids.
With my sister and her recent divorce, her and her husband went into the courtroom. Now, they had much older kids than you had with your daughter. Mm-hmm. But they went into the courtroom, and they had already worked it out. So no one had to step in and say, all right, you get the kids here, you get the kids there. They had it work. They were able to agree. You and your wife weren't.
No, we weren't, because I wanted to see my daughter more. And it never happened. My wife did not let me go to my daughter's first day of school.
Why?
Because she thought it would be too upsetting for her to see me there. I was never allowed to go to any of the parent-teacher conferences, any of the family nights, the meet-the-teacher nights. I was never allowed to go. I found out...
You basically weren't even in the dad role at all.
No, and not by my own choice.
I know that. Yeah, I'm just saying.
How can you be banned from these things?
I called the school to find out why I'm not allowed. I was not even on record as the father. The other guy was.
He's banned because she got the sole custody. And so she's running the show. So at the school, I'm the mother. Here's the next person you call if something happens to me. The schools have to watch out for that because some dads will show up and try to kidnap the kids.
Oh, okay. Now I see. And if he's not even on any records, then he's just a stranger hanging around a schoolyard. Yeah, I understand now.
But where does the biological father, who is the mother to decide that I'm not allowed to attend the PTA conference? I'm not allowed to meet my daughter's teacher. What, because we don't live in the same house? Because somebody somewhere decided that 2 weekends a month is the only time I'm allowed to be a dad now?
All right, here's Rick. Rick, you're on Fez.
Hey, Rick. Rick, you there, buddy?
Going?
No, Rick.
Gone, Rick. Here's Rich.
Rich, there we go.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, Rich.
How you doing? Can't remember my big ass number, but I'll tell you what. I'll plow ahead. Hey, perfect topic tonight. I got in the car coming home from my son's 5th grade graduation, and this is on, and this is great. Because, Billy, I feel your pain.
Thank you.
You're in the same situation, Rich.
I am in the same situation. I have my kids. I'm 48 years old. Ron, I'm from Norristown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm 48 years old. My kids are 11 and 7. My ex, who happens to be a Harvard law grad, decided to walk out one night when I suggested she get a full-time job. Just walked out.
And you weren't having any problems up to that point?
Oh, no, we were having problems.
Right.
But just the minute I mentioned that, she just walked out the door and never came back. But she ended up with the house, with the kids, with the cars, with the cat.
And she left.
And I'm struggling by trying to pay her this child support, which is, I understand that there is a need to take care of my kids. She and her new husband. Let me back this up again a little bit. She walked out. She started living with the guy who did the home inspection when I bought my house.
Oh, Jesus.
I hate it when that happens.
So he inspected his own house.
What's that?
So he ended up in your crib?
He did.
Part of his home inspection was, I guess this will be my room.
At least it wasn't the landlord.
Well, that would have been nice, actually.
That was Billy's. The landlord got your wife, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. But, she dumped him after he picked
I didn't laugh at you.
All right, so she took advantage of the next guy.
Yeah, now she's married to another guy. They're flying off to Prague. They're flying off to San Francisco for the weekend. They run off to London. They're traveling all over the world. I'm handing them almost every cent that I earn. I'm living on $100 a month, Billy. $100 a month.
So how cut off are you from your kids?
Well, that's
Are you as bad as Billy?
But the judge wouldn't let her.
Yeah. I mean, at least you're allowed to go to school.
Yeah. I made it a point to that. But now here's the problem. She doesn't practice law anymore. She teaches in my son's school. So, in effect, I was cut off. I was alienated by from them by the teachers themselves because they are her circle of friends. So now my son graduated tonight, so he's going off to a different school. I've already been to that school, registered with them, let them know who I am, let them know that I am my son's father, and I fully expect to be fully involved with him at that school.
Did you try to do anything like that, Billy?
I tried. It was like everything was blocked by my ex because they already had a parent on record. Hey, CPS the Child Protective Services didn't even know I existed. They never even knew my
name. Did you have an agreement? I mean, a written divorce agreement? Something that you have, something on paper?
Yeah, I had a lot of stuff on paper that she wasn't allowed to call anybody else daddy, which that stopped. That never happened.
That was actually part of the deal?
Yeah, no, she wasn't allowed to call. And the other thing is,
how do you stop a kid from calling someone daddy?
I go, hey, I'm daddy.
Yeah,
you're looking at Big Daddy. I'd stop that in a heartbeat. I got to agree with Billy there.
I know, I understand that, but if Billy's not around, how do you stop a 5-year-old from calling the new guy daddy?
If I have to, I'll break a toe on her.
If she knows you're her daddy, she's not going to.
And that's the mother's fault. I blame the mother knows the
agreement. Mother should stop in. I wouldn't let somebody else call my chick mom that wasn't the mom.
Yeah.
Even if my wife died. I wouldn't give that away.
And you want to tell me where a 7-year-old comes over my house one day and says, Daddy, I want to change my last name so it matches my mommy's. Where the hell does a 7-year-old get that from? She doesn't get that from herself, okay?
Maybe she got it from her new daddy.
My ex actually
don't call him that.
Totally confused all the kids. She's using her her maiden name. The kids have my name, and the new husband, I guess, kept his name.
Yes, the husband's going to keep his name.
Of course, he's right.
Yeah, right. All right, thanks a lot, Rich. We appreciate it, buddy.
The new husband took my last name, so it's very confusing for everyone.
What a nightmare. 866-277-4969. I remember when one of my chicks left me and went off with Larry Coxwinkle, and then I ended up with all the kids, and then I had to write a new play. And then they were yelling, Arthur. Jennifer, you're on Run and Fez.
I love that movie.
Billy. I just want to tell you ain't got nothing to worry out. My pop was a bum, and he skipped out when I was younger. He was in detox and stuff. And I would guarantee your daughter uses the words, you ain't my daddy, when she gets mad. If not now, later, because you know who your dad is.
That's a good point. When with the new dad, she will yell, you're not my father at him.
You can't tell me what to do.
She never... my ex had this little girl, so brainwashed that they needed this guy for everything, for the house they lived in, for the money, for her private schooling, for everything else. Not the fact that I was paying child support, but this poor kid was so brainwashed that this guy was so important in their lives that he was like they couldn't live without him.
But you know what? When she grows up and you have grandkids, I bet you're going to be calling you granddaddy, not him.
No, that's a very
nice
cool
thing to granddad.
Thank you.
You skip out, though, man.
You're
going to remember that.
Hey, look, I've been hanging in this long. I'm not going anywhere.
Don't do it, man. Keep in there.
All right, bye, honey. She's very nice to give you that.
That is
You
nice.
don't want to be a skip-out granddad.
Look, and
do you look forward to that maybe then you'll be included with grandchildren?
Yes, I would love. I mean, please. It would give me a chance.
Yeah.
What I missed with my daughter.
Is she seeing anyone? She in a relationship?
Yeah, he was another fireman.
You know what you ought to do? And he's a nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Go in with some kind of a pin and try to put little holes in the condoms. So you can be one cool granddad.
First off, there's no need for holes in condoms.
They decide not to go that way? It's all bareback?
Got to remember, born-again Christians.
Billy, let me ask you this.
What?
If your daughter gets married to this other fireman...
Don't say it.
What?
No, don't bring it up because he doesn't know. I know what you're thinking. The wedding?
Yeah.
No, don't even bring it up to him.
Okay.
Oh, it'll be me. If it's not me giving her away, I thought about this long and hard.
I figured it's already been through your brain.
Oh, probably almost the moment I left.
Right.
If it's not me, I'm not going.
All right, not to start trouble. The reason why I tried to stop Fez with this, I'm betting $100 right now it ain't going to be you, brother. It's going to be the guy who raised her.
No, not anymore. At one time, I would agree with you. Not anymore.
Fez, what do you think? What if her mother says, this is who I want?
I think by that point, my daughter will realize that I'm the one who's been there for her all the time, and I'm not the scum of the earth.
I think,
Jen, turn your radio down. Go ahead, Fuzzy.
I think, Billy, you can pull it off, but I think it's going to take a lot of work on your part. I think it's going to take a lot of convincing that you are a good guy.
Jen, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, Jen.
Lost you there when I asked you to turn your radio down. You got your feelings hurt. Here's Cameron. You're on Run and Fez.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
Here's my situation. Now, this is several years ago, but I married a woman who had two children. One was 2 and the other one was less than a year old. And I have always expected them to call me Dad. Their fathers were, like, on the holidays. They don't even call. And they live in a completely different state. Now, I'm listening to your guys' conversation. I'm feeling, well, maybe I was being selfish in that aspect, wanting to be the father because I literally have raised them. But one's 17 and one's 15 now. I mean, this was, 10 years ago.
Are they boys or girls?
One of each. Mm-hmm. And I also have one with us. We have our own child. And I have never treated them differently. I've never, you're my stepkid, so
right.
This is my real kid.
So what he's saying, he's a good guy, Billy, and he's the dad.
Well, you know what? You can be the best guy in the world, but if it's a legal paper that says you're not going to get called Dad, I don't think you should. And you know what? It's up to the mother to respect that. I guarantee you one thing. My ex-wife made sure that I had that life insurance policy for her. She made sure that alimony check was there, that child support was there. She made sure that I was living up to my end of the bargains on that separation agreement.
Rodney and I have a friend. Well, no. He married the woman that had 2 little boys. I think they were 5 and 6 at the time. As soon as they found out he was marrying their mom, they immediately started calling him Dad, and now they actually call their real dad by his first name. And they call the new guy Dad.
That's disgusting.
Well, here's the other aspect of it, too, is that I respect Billy. I mean, he's making the effort. He's trying to be there. These guys pay, one guy pays $30 for the last 17 years, has paid, not even that long, $32 a month child support.
How much for one child?
For one child.
That's ridiculous.
$32.
What did you pay, Billy?
One of my best friends was paying $500 every 2 weeks for his daughter.
Yeah.
And they had quarters saying that he can't go near her. He only gets to see her 2 months a year.
What you pay a month, Billy?
It started out $120.
The whole situation is very weighted, towards God. I don't even know what it's weighted toward. It just seems really unstable situation. Some people are doing absolutely nothing and having all the benefits. Other people are doing everything they absolutely can to be in their kid's life and are getting nothing in return.
The funny thing is, it still comes down to the relationship you have with that woman.
Yes.
And if it was so good, you'd still be married to begin with, but you still have to keep that relationship going.
Yeah, I was just going to say, no matter how I feel about my ex, I'm always going to have a relationship with her because of my daughter.
Mm-hmm. And now your grandchildren. You all show up together.
Yeah.
Grandpa Billy.
Pretty soon.
That's going to be cool. Pretty soon.
Well, let's hope.
Howard Stern, Don and Mike, Bill O'Reilly, Ron and Fez, and the Washington Redskins. 106.7 WJFK.